Hi everybody, I've got a little bit of a... Oh, hello. Wait a minute. Right. I've got a little bit of a treat for you today, because this is something I've wanted to do ever since I found these... oh, here's another one. Ever since I found these bunkers, I don't know, many... What are they doing up there? Many years ago, when we first started playing DayZ on Xbox, and then on PlayStation, and then on PCs. There's entrances to these sort of mine tunnels here up at Kamensk, and also there's some at Dambog as well, isn't there? And there might be others as well. And it always annoyed me that you couldn't go inside them. So, I think you can guess what's coming next, can't you? So let's, first before we go, let's just make our torch available in the quick bar. There we go. Make sure we're not going to get stabbed by zombies. So we just go up to this door. Let's exit here. There we go. And then let's log back in. Yeah, I think you know what's coming next if you've seen some of my videos about this sort of thing already. We are in a dark tunnel, so let's get our torch out. Let's turn it on. And ooh, we've moved inside the tunnel. Look at this. How cool is this? So let's go down, and again, if we turn our torch off, I think I've got local light, sort of personal light turned on this test server. So we can go down here and have a look round and go, ooh, this is eerie. And then, oh, there's a door there, and oh, that's all. We can close that door. Have a look through here. Okay, that's all collapsed. Alright, okay, it's been... Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Oh, we've got a bunker. A bomber jacket. Any other goodies? See if anything else has spawned in. I thought it was a zombie then. Oh, there's a grenade. Oh no, it's a universal flashlight. So as you can see, there's loot spawning in as well. And how much loot you will spawn in will of course depend on... oh, there's some 10 round. Depend on your server. I think this server is set up for vanilla, so there won't be much spawning in at all. And then if we go back up here, let's run to the end. And then we log off again. And then we log back in again. With a bit of luck and a following wind, we should find ourselves where we started, back at Kamensk. There we go. Let's turn our flashlight off, get our M16 out, because there's probably going to be some zombies hanging around. So there we go. Finally, we can get inside the tunnel, sort of. Now, if you're thinking, wow, I know how Rob did this. He did this with the new restricted area files. If you go to the description below this video, you'll find my GitHub repository, a link to my GitHub repository, and a link to my Mega repository. So you can go and you can download the files. And then in the files, there's also a README, a step-by-step README that shows you how to install this tunnel as well. I've also included, obviously, the darkness trigger to make it dark in the tunnel. And there's also the .dze files as well. So you can go to PC DayZ editor mod and play around with it. Are we getting attacked by a zombie? Oh, because I've got to be careful, because we're logging on and off. Let's just toggle God back on so we don't get knocked out by a zombie. So you can visit the GitHub, you can visit the Mega, and you can download the instructions to do it. Now, the way that it works for people that are scratching their head, and this works for PC and console, is that on Sakal there's this new bunker system, and if you go inside the bunker, there's a chance you can get trapped there. And what they've done is they've added this system where if you log off inside the bunker, or maybe it's so you can't stay inside the bunker, if you log off inside the bunker, when you log back in again, you're automatically transported somewhere else. And we can make use of this to make teleports. So you're not actually teleporting through the door underneath the map. Because the problem is, if you it's very difficult to make things underneath the map in DayZ. Things don't work correctly when they're underneath the map. So let me show you where actually the bunker is, and I've deliberately placed it so you can see it. So if we go over here to Skalisky, there it is up there. Now normally when you do your own versions of these, what you're going to want to do is probably put it further away and maybe low down, actually put it next to the sea. So let's turn on free fly. Let's go over here so you can kind of see what's going on. So you can see it's made up of chunks of the that's the mine entrance there, and I flipped it round, and then these are actually segments from the Livonia bunker, and I've just kind of stitched them together as best as I can so you can't tell. And then I've just taken a pile of rubble and made it big, or a few piles of rubble and made them big, so that so they block that off. And then you can make this as big as you like and add as many bits as you want. You could even recreate the Livonia bunker if you wanted to. I'm not sure if the water would work though, but I just went for this because I thought it looks pretty cool. And kind of that's how it works. So you can follow the instructions, you can add it to your Chernarus server, but I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's jump out of here, let's exit from here, and then let's come out of here, and I'll fire up the DayZ editor mod so that you can kind of see how I do it. So let's shut down the server. Let's go into DayZ, let's go into mods, let's unload all. Let's load up DayZ editor. Just remember, when we do this sort of thing, DayZ editor can be a little bit, or DayZ itself can be a little bit crash happy, so sometimes it can crash. So what the way that I did this was that I created the bunker first somewhere flat, and my favourite place to create things is actually at the northeast airfield, because it's nice and flat and it's quite remote, and it enables you to place things and line them up easily. And then once I've done that, I then copy that and then place it somewhere else, and I make sure that all the hard work is done first. So you want to make sure that when you do this method, so if we get open Chernarus plus, that all of your bunker basically is complete before you move it over the sea or into the sky, because when you start moving stuff around in the sky, sure, you can do it, but things have a tendency to snap into the distance. So if we go file, open recent tunnel test, and so what you'll find is on this file you get the bunker kind of where it is here out in the sky, but also if we go to here we go, the northeast airfield, there we go. There we go. We're quite high, aren't we? So this is where I kind of make the bunker. And then when you load this file in, you'll see that everything is locked. So if you want to move anything around, you've got to kind of unlock it like so. But just beware, obviously, if you start moving things around, you're going to have to re-export stuff as well. And so you can see the entrance to the bunker. And when things are on the ground like this, it's much easier to move them around in smaller increments so that things line up. And kind of did it like that. And once I was happy with how the bunker was completely, and this involved, going inside the bunker, press T, jumping in as the little fella, and then kind of running around, making sure everything kind of made sense. Once I was happy with that, that was the point at which I copied it all and then pasted it in the sky where Sakala is. When you are pasting things, what you want to do, because it is easy to paste stuff outside of the map, you can do that by accident. So what you need to be careful of is you don't go over the edge of the map. So here we go. So for example, can we zoom in? It's being a little bit buggy at the moment. It's not letting me zoom in and out. I'm not sure why. Let's come out. Let's go back in. Okay, so make sure that you don't go over the edge of the map. I know that kind of doesn't really make sense at the moment. Oh, here we go. Right, let's see if we can see the edge. Okay, so I would say round about this line here is the edge of the map. If you go further than something like, I think it's 15,500, objects don't spawn in and it won't work. So I would pick probably somewhere around here. And I think when you're at that distance, you won't be able to see an object from the shore, because obviously it's a little bit immersion breaking that you can see this thing in the sky. And actually what I would probably do is I would probably put it close to the sea. And then what you could always do is, if you wanted to be really nitpicky and were worried about people coming round, you could always put a ship in front of it, I guess, or something. I mean, it's totally up to you. I mean, I think we have to accept that when you do these sort of things on something like Chernarus, where there's such a huge landmass and there's not many bits of the sea that are far away, that you've got to kind of make a compromise. I mean, if you did this on Livonia, for example, created a different sort of bunker on Livonia, you are going to end up with something in the sky somewhere. But I mean, I think you've just got to kind of accept that, haven't you? This is, you know, the compromise we have to make in order to have this sort of thing. But you wouldn't have it close. Now, also included in the files, we might as well go and have a look at them while we're here, is a underground trigger file as well. So that's how you make it dark. Now, what I did with the underground trigger, because I think underground triggers are really a pain in the bottom to set up, aren't they? And you can't get them exact. But the beauty of having a bunker that's in the middle of the sky somewhere away from the ground, where people aren't going to be walking around the outside of it, is you can just make a massive underground trigger. So this underground trigger is 100 meters by 100 meters by 100 meters. So it's this massive cube that is like encompasses and everything, and then the position is based on the middle object, which would happen to be the London Underground Tunnel single. So I use that coordinates with that orientation, and then just made a massive cube around it, and the eye accommodation is 0, so it goes straight to dark as soon as you spawn in. So there we go. So again, there's a few other things in the file as well. You get the pictures if you want to look at them. There's the location, there's the interior. Don't use the underground trigger if you want it to be lit, but I think having it, tunnels always seems much bigger when they're dark, which I think is pretty cool. And as I say, the instructions are in the readme and they go step by step, so you can have your own Kamensk tunnel. It was also a little bit of a proof of concept, this, I think, just to check that it would work. Because this, the fact that you can have tunnels opens up lots of other possibilities as well. The ones that I'm going to be thinking about working on, obviously we could have this sort of bunker at every single tunnel entrance in Chernarus or Livonia or Sakal. So you can have something like this, and these are Easter eggs as well. I was considering how would players know that there was something here. So you could either leave it so they've just got to come across it, or if you're on a Discord you could tell people. But maybe you could have a little visual clue or something. I'm not quite sure what that would be. I thought about placing an Easter egg, you know, the special egg that we have in the files, somewhere nearby, so people go, oh, this is an Easter egg, or you would just let people try and discover it. But also the other one that I want to work on is probably adding a similar thing to Tissy, but maybe do it through the one of the buildings in Tissy has an underground bunker, sort of, doesn't it? A lightweight bunker that you can go into, and there'll be a door there that you could then make a more complex bunker. I also want to do something, hopefully, where we have a tunnel underneath towns. So say when you go to Chernarus, at one end of Chernarus there'll be a manhole cover, and if you log off on the manhole cover, you're then in the sewer or a secret tunnel system underneath Chernarus, so you can go through it, and maybe it branches off and you can pop out at different parts of Chernarus, which would be pretty cool as well, wouldn't it? Again, the idea is it's pitch black, so you'd have to use a torch. And I always think it's very important that when you do these sort of things, that you do include some loot in the system as well, because loot and finding loot is integral to DayZ, isn't it? It's a big part of the gameplay experience. So that's why, for example, this tunnel has got that extra little ammo thing in, so that there is a reason to go in there and find stuff. So hopefully everybody finds this useful, has fun with it, and comes up with their own ideas. Yeah, if you found this useful, hit like if you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you again soon.